Hello and welcome back to yet another episode of Bobson Rants, where I talk about random crap while playing Team Fortress 2. So yeah, it's been a couple of weeks since my last one, mainly because last week I had something else I wanted to put up on Saturday, which was an episode of a one-shot episode of a game called what was it called? Can't Drive This. I think that's the name. Can't Drive This. Yeah, Can't Drive This. It was a game I wanted to check out. It's a game I got a free beta copy for, just to see what it's like, just to check it out and maybe do a video of it. And I played it and had a lot of fun, and I wanted to put a video out, so I figured Saturday would be a better idea than just a random day during the week. So it took up last week's ranting spot, unfortunately. So, this week, what do I want to talk about this week while I am playing? Let's see. I guess I want to talk about is South Park, because, well, for a few reasons. One, the newest season just started a couple weeks ago. It's been going fairly well. I actually have to say it is still damn good. After 20 years, well, is it 20 years or just 20 seasons? Because it started in 97. So, yeah, it hasn't technically been 20 years yet. It's just been 20 seasons so far. But yeah, this is the 20th season, and they are going just as strong as ever. So, yeah, I just wanted to talk about this because I love South Park. If you've ever... I've talked about it before in previous ranting episodes about how much I love South Park. I've always loved it. It's fun. I've seen every episode from the first season up till today. And, yeah, it's a lot of fun. And this season is shaping up fairly well. Because, yeah, I don't know when they started it. It was like a couple years ago. But they actually started having a theme through each season. I mean, previously in older seasons, each episode was its own standalone thing. It would just be one episode with a story. It was all self-contained. And then, unless it was like a multi-part thing, I mean, they might reference back to it at some point. But for the most part, each episode was its own separate thing with no real connection to the others. I mean, that was the entire point of the earlier seasons, with a continuity, especially with Kenny dying every single episode. But yeah, a few seasons ago, they started doing season-long themes. Basically, an underlying story that lasted throughout the entire season and culminated in the end of it. Now, this year's theme is the election between a giant douche and a turd sandwich, which is in and of itself a reference to an older episode where they were trying to choose a mascot for the school football team after they were forced to get rid of the cow, the South Park cow football team mascot. So they had to switch it up and try and elect a new one. And the choices were a giant douche or a giant turd sandwich. So that became the joke. It was basically a joke on the election at the time. I don't remember which election it was. Was it the Al Gore, the 2001, or 2004? They were kind of running a parody of it. They weren't really getting into it. They weren't really getting too political about it or being too direct about it. But this year, this theme is direct, and it is blatant, and it is shaping up to be quite funny. Especially considering that their stand-in for Donald Trump is Mr. Garrison, and the reason because of that is because last year Donald Trump, the Canadian the Donald Trump in the show, took over Canada, screwed it over, built a massive wall, and got himself elected to Prime Minister. And Mr. Garrison went up there, and he just killed him, I guess. I guess that's basically the story. I don't want to say what exactly happened. If you missed the episode, go watch it. But yeah, basically, Donald Trump was Canadian, and he took over Canada and messed everything up. So this year, I don't know if they realized that Donald Trump was actually going to win the Republican nomination last year, so they kind of screwed themselves over with that. But yeah, he Donald Trump in the South Park universe, is basically dead. So they have to have Mr. Garrison as his stand-in. So he's running for president. Mr. Garrison is running for president, painted orange. I don't know why he's painted orange. I think it's simply because Donald Trump is supposed to be orange. I don't know. It's just odd, the fact that he's always wearing this orange makeup, and it's funny. But yeah, basically, he's a giant douche. Hillary Clinton's a turd sandwich. And they're, that's the entire joke. It's basically a rehash of that older episode of trying to elect a turd sandwich or a giant douche, and that's how they refer to them. They don't even say their names, they just refer to them as the giant douche or the turd sandwich. So, yeah, that's the entire theme of this year's South Park. The underlying theme is the election, and it's understandable. They did that before. They referenced the election when Obama was getting elected during that whole year. What was it, 4 years ago and 8 years ago they did that. It's funny, but I don't really know where they're going to go with it, because the fact that they are directly and actively referencing it, the fact that they're actively doing this is hilarious, but at the same time, are they going to do, and who are they going to go with? I mean, who are they actually pushing? Because it seems like they're pushing both of them as terrible choices, and that's kind of funny. But at the same time, it's perfect, because you can't really get this kind of thing with any of the other kind of animated shows, any of the other kind of stuff like this, because they have the option of having it written, having it produced within a week. So they can do this kind of stuff. They can have direct referential humor based on events that happened a few days ago. Hell, stuff that happened that day, they can actually write it out, animate it, voice act it really quick. I mean, they can't do an entire episode like that, but within a few days, maybe a week or so, they can have an entire episode written, voice acted, and animated, and be able to reference this kind of stuff. And that's always been one of the funny things about South Park, is the fact that even though it's an animated show, they can still be topical. They can still talk about stuff that is happening right then and there, not stuff that happened months ago when they started writing and had to wait for traditional animation or even traditional CGI animation. So yeah, the other underlying theme is trolling and online bullying and that kind of stuff with this season's episode. And the episodes this season is basically Gerald, Kyle's dad, is trolling the internet and basically being a giant asshole and yeah, trolling everyone and causing people to get very, very angry. And unfortunately, Cartman was blamed for it, even though he had absolutely nothing to do with it. I mean, this is the kind of thing that is hilarious, because every other time something like this would happen, it would be Cartman. It would always be Cartman, because Cartman's that guy. He's the bad guy. He's the one that is always blamed for this kind of stuff, and it always turns out that he's actually the one who did it, because that's just the kind of person he is. So, for the first time, he's not actually guilty of anything. He didn't actually do it, and he was blamed for it, and yeah. And if you saw last week's episode, or not last week, the week before, then you saw the consequences of that, of him finally being blamed for something he did not do. So, it's kind of sad, but at the same time, completely understandable why he would be blamed, because he's always behind it. But I don't know. I wonder where they're going to go with this. I wonder what they're going to do with it. But I just love South Park. I've always loved South Park. And if you've watched my channel over the years, then you know I enjoy the show. And I actually enjoy the games as well. Because I actually played South Park, The Stick of Truth, for my channel when it first came out. And I actually paid full price for it the day it released. So that's how much I really care about it. Because normally I wait until it's on sale during the Steam sales or something like that. But I actually paid full price for it just so I could play it for my channel, because I was really looking forward to it. And I'm also looking forward to the next game that they're going to be coming out sometime in the next month or two, sometime this year, later this year, either October, December or something. Fractured Butt Hole. And yeah, you can already see previews of it. You can already see some YouTubers who've gotten early access to it. And I really, really am looking forward to it, and I want to see it. I want to play it, simply because I want to see how they continue the storyline from the previous game. But yeah, Anything else I want to talk about other than South Park's reference to a giant douche and a turd sandwich? I don't know. It is October. Today should be the 1st, so it is October. Halloween is just around the corner. I say it's just around the corner. It's at the end of the month, so it's an entire month away. But at least it's not an entire year away like it was last year. But that's always true of everything. So, yeah. So October, Halloween, scary stuff, scary movies, scary games. Probably going to be some scary games on Steam coming out. I don't know if I'm going to play any, though, because a lot of it... I've looked into some games, stuff I wanted to play. I wanted to play a couple different games. Unfortunately, my system just can't handle them. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll see about finding some scary game to fill in a few of the empty slots in my daily schedule. Maybe not. I'm not really sure. I have not decided anything yet. TF2, I don't know if they're going to have anything new with TF2 this year. Last year, they had, what was it? A community update for Team Fortress 2 for Halloween, which means they did not have anything new. They did not have anything from Valve. It was all just pure community update, meaning they didn't add anything new. They just took previous concepts, made new maps with them. All of the community-made content, the cosmetics and stuff, all the stuff in the crates were all made by the community, were all added by the community. All the maps, and they had like 4 new maps, but they were all community-created maps, using resources, using materials, using basic concepts that was being used in previous Valve design maps. Hopefully this year, Valve will come back with a new design, a new map that they themselves created, because I've always looked forward to the Halloween updates from Valve for the simple fact that they always had some good maps. They always added some new concept to the game, whether it was Marasmus or the bumper cars from the Doomsday redo of the map. And the bumper cars were a lot of fun, but that was the last time they actually added anything new. So, yeah, I'm hoping that they come back. I'm hoping that they have actually designed something and created something for this year. Something spectacular, something game-changing, something interesting. But if last year is any indication, they might not have, and it might just be another community update. I'm not really sure. I have not heard anything about it. I've not seen anything about it yet. So, if you're a fan of Team Fortress 2, if you watch these videos not because you want to listen to me ranting about crap, but because you like watching me fail horribly at Team Fortress 2, then, yeah, who knows. We might get a new map, we might not. So yeah, anything else I want to talk about? Nothing really. So, anyway, I guess I'll cut it short here and say thanks for watching. This has been Bobson. This has been another episode of Bobson Rants while playing Team Fortress 2 Battle. And until next time, I will see you later. Bye.